Really feels like I haven't been talking to you guys for a long time. When's the last time I put up a video? A few days ago? 4 days ago? 5 days ago? It doesn't matter. I don't like to do things because of a quota. Like, oh, I gotta put up a video every single day, you know, because I gotta make my quota. That's no difference than going out on field service, right? I gotta put in my time. Nah, I gotta fill it, right? I do these videos whenever I feel like it. It's not contrived. It's like writing a song. When I write songs, it can't be contrived. It's got to be something that just comes to me. And I say, oh, give me a paper, you know? And that's the way it is, you know, when I do these videos. I get people that ask me, hey, Sean, why don't you speak about this? Why don't you? And I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for your presence. But I don't do that. Because once I do that, I fail. Right? I don't just like, okay, today's Wednesday. I got to speak about children that are beaten in the bathroom at the Kingdom Hall. Right? No, I don't do that. Besides, I don't think that goes on anymore. Does it? I remember when I was young, you used to hear screaming, crying from the bathrooms. They would get beat, you know, and I'm talking about 4 or 5 year olds. I don't know, because they turned around and looked at the clock, right? Like, when is this thing over? You know, there was a lot of abuse. You know, I'm gonna beat you to love Jehovah. But it was just anger because they was part of an organization that held them captive, and they knew this. So they took it out on their children, right? That's what you do, right? That's not what I do, but that's what they did. And you would hear screaming, and my mother would look at, you know, me and her, you know, the rest of the children, and she would make this face like, what is going on? A couple of times I saw other sisters get up and they would walk to the bathroom, probably like, sis, you know, put the broom down and let him go to sleep if he's tired. He's tired. He's 3 years old, right? He's hungry and tired. He can't lay on your lap. He can't lay on your shoulder without you like nudging your shoulder to tell him to wake up. Are you mental? I used to always look at that, you know, and going back to why I never got baptized. These are the little things, right? These are the little things that you know, if you spoke to someone as I did and you mention these things, they say, oh, that's that individual. That's not everybody. Yeah, we know that. But this is systemic. It seemed to be something that happened a lot around, you know, at least the United States. This was the climate, you know. So, yeah. What's this video about? This video is about the governing body. I almost went left with it, right? Talking about Jehovah's Witnesses abusing their children. That might be the title. No. Yeah. Because it really doesn't happen anymore. There's, you know, other organizations that will take your child away from you. You know, so, yeah, it doesn't happen. But then again, no, they won't, because who's going to tell on them? Not another Jehovah's Witness, right? We know how they keep things quiet. Yeah, so the governing body always intrigued me, right? Always wondered who these men or man, I think back in the days I thought it was one person. Who were they? You know, we would get certain people that would tell their stories about meeting one of them, and I was a young kid like, what, who are these people? What are these people? They run the whole organization. At one point I thought they were sitting next to Jehovah. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, so they're sitting next to Jehovah in heaven? Like, it's like, no, they're, Sean, they're on earth. I'm like, okay, and they have arms and legs? They're human, Sean. I said, with blood running through their veins? Yes. And they die? Yeah. Well, they die, but it's like in a wink of an eye. They're with Jehovah, you know. They're part of the 144,000. I'm like, oh, okay. So, like, when you meet them, do they stand a foot off the ground? Like, do they float a little bit? No, they don't float. They lie. They, you know, everything my parents or family would do to humanize these people would work against them. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, how in the hell are they running an organization that is, you know, guided by Jehovah or the whole dynamic was so weird to me, because the way they explained it, these were normal, average people that lied, that died, that had arms and legs, that didn't float, they couldn't juggle, you know, 20 apples. I wanted them to do something interesting. Please, just give me something to go on, right? He's 92 years old. He knows how to do a somersault without a handspring, you know? He can do a somersault standing in place. Like, give me something to go on. It's like, wow, and he's 95? And he can do a somersault without using his hands? Like, something to where I say, you know what? Might be special there. Might be the one, you know. Might be the Matrix, you know. I don't know, but they didn't do anything but get old and die. You know? It's like, you know, do they heal? Because Jesus, Jesus gave us something to go on. There's people that don't believe in Jesus or whatever, but at least it was something to go on. Raise the dead, heal the sick, multiplied bread and fish, turned water into wine, one of my favorites, right? Wonder what kind of wine. Always wondered that. It had to be some good wine, right? But then again, I don't know good from bad wine. I just know the alcohol percentage, right? It's 13 and up, you're going to have a good time. That's the only thing I know. And maybe the difference between a cap and a cork. But that's about it. But I'm pretty sure it had to be some good wine that Jesus turned that water into. But yeah, the governing body intrigued me, you know. It was almost like the Wizard of Oz in my eyes, you know. The black version, you know, with Richard Pryor played the Oz. It was like, who are these people behind the curtains that are running this organization? And not just running this organization, they are guided. They have direct communication with the God Almighty, right? And I used to always wonder, like, would they be in rooms and then all of a sudden, like, they hear things, like, you know, do they take turns hearing it, or do they hear it all together? And it's like, yes, okay, write that down, you know, we got to deliver it tomorrow. Like, I always wondered that. Was it in a dream? Like, you know, one of them woke up and say, hey, he spoke to me. You know, and then what about someone else saying, well, he spoke to me too? Well, did he say the same thing? I don't know. You know, he said this. Oh, he said the same thing, but mine's differed a little bit. Okay, well, let's make sure that we have it, you know, modified and edited so that we come across. Like, I always wonder, how did these things come about? So they intrigued me. But then, like Wizard of Oz, when they pulled back the curtain and found out that it was Richard Pryor's character, you know, a scared, insecure human that was, you know, controlling all these people, then it was like, the jig is up. It's over, you know. But evidently, it's not with these people. And I think that's why they have, what is it, 7 or 8 members? You know, is it less? I'm not sure. I can picture their faces, but I can't. I don't know the number of them. You know, but why not one? Why not one? Why really? You gotta be honest with yourself. You gotta ask yourself that question. Like, why not one governing body? Like, there's one president of the United States, maybe two. You can have a vice president, you can have a vice governing body or something like that, you know. But they need that many for what reason? And I love the fact that they have a token black. I love that, you know. It just made it come full circle, because it makes total sense. They knew that if they didn't have a black one, there would have been some sort of uproar, especially now with all of this racial tension and everything going on. Somebody would have been like, how come there ain't no black governing body? That's not how black people talk, but you know, it would have went something like that, you know what I mean? And but it's so crazy, because it makes total sense. The token black, you know. There's no Asian there, because there's not enough Asians to even argue the fact that you know, how come there's no Asians in there? You know, there's not enough in the organization. So it all makes sense of how they piece this thing together. Oh, can you imagine if they had 4 black governing bodies and 3 non-black? Like, it's like, nah. And that's the same reason why I always said, you know, why they put, you know, mainly, and this is not a race thing. This is just to solidify or simplify, you know, how organizations are ran based off of marketing and promotion, because that's the game that I'm in, being in the music business. So I look at everything like marketing and promotion. When you see commercials, when you see certain things, and you know, if they do a commercial with a whole bunch of people, they try to cover all ethnicities, you know what I mean? You have your Asian, you have your black family, you have your white family, you know, maybe Middle Eastern. Like, they always try to cover all boundaries. You got your straight, your gays, you know, and that's marketing and promotion. So I look at them no differently. Marketing and promotion. It's like, you know, so it's not a race thing, but that's how they used to market their Watchtower and Awake magazines. It was mainly white people, because they knew that the climate that we're in, especially in the United States, if you have a black family on the front of, you know, all of the, or most of the Watchtower and Awake magazines, a lot of white people that are stuck in the primitive ages would say, you know, what is this? What, a black family on the front? What the hell do I want to read this for? Like throw it away. You know what I mean? So they knew that they had to capture the masses by, you know, putting, you know, non-blacks on the front of their Awake and Watchtower magazines, right? And plus, you know, if we do get, well, I'll just leave it there. But yeah, so these people, and I always wonder, even like, how do they justify what they're doing? Do they even know? They have to know. Because you got to understand, they were part of the rank and file. It's not like they said, hey, excuse me, brother, can I talk to you in about, I don't know, 20 minutes? Like, yeah, you know, hey, we were thinking about making you one of the governing bodies. So we're going to need you to, you know, leave your room, and we're going to set you up in a new... Nah, it don't go that way. These people are prepped. They are prepped. This is years in the making. You know, it would be a culture shock to pull back that veil and have them doing all the things that they do. They are privy to things that you couldn't even imagine. They are privy to this stuff. So that you have to be eased into that. You know, it's like the president, you know, usually you're in government, Senate, something, you know, you're the mayor of some city or whatever, you know, you don't just say, hey, you know, boom, you become the president, you know. Even Trump, You know, he was a celebrity. He was a realtor, you know, a billionaire realtor, whatever. He had some business savvy. There was something to go on, right? There was something. He was used to speaking on stages and had cameras in his face. So there was something to go on. You don't just pluck people like out of the crowd and say, hey, you want to become the president of the United States? No, because you are immediately privy to certain things. So you got to ease your way in. And I know that they had to ease their way in to this thing. But like, how do they justify what they're doing? Because it's no longer for Jehovah God. They can tell themselves that all they want. They know that it's not, this is not for Jehovah God, because they know that they have to manipulate things. They know they have to, you know, edit things and misinform and mislead. They know this. They do it all the time. So, you know, there has to be a thing where it's no accountability, they believe, with them and God, if they even believe in God, right? I know they were Jehovah's Witnesses all their life, but you don't know what they believe in now, especially when they see the behind the scenes stuff. You know, they could have aborted God a long time ago. Stephen Lett, I mean, he looks like he's fighting demons every day. I could care less how he smiles and first off, he has a very psychotic way of presenting himself, because his eyes is very angst, but yet he's smiling with his mouth. You ever see those people? It's like, you know, it reminds me of the bad guys in Lethal Weapon. I think Lethal Weapon 1 or something like that. The ones from the other country, diplomatic immunity. One of those guys, like they smile, but you see the evil in their eyes. Like that's the look Stephen Lett has, in my opinion. He looks like he's about to flip out, like one day, like like just literally lose his wig. Right? Like one of these days, and maybe tell a tell-all book. I don't know. You know, that would be great. But yeah, it's crazy, but I'm wondering how they justify it. I'm wondering where they think they're going after they die. You know, the honest truth is that they can go where everybody else is going. If you know, anybody is going anywhere. You know, it's like, hey, we're sinful people, you know, and Jesus forgave our sins. They probably really believe what they don't teach. Hey, I believe in Jesus. He's the truth, the way, and the life. And as long as I believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, this is what they believe. This is how they justify doing what they do. But they don't want you to know that, because you'll abort the mission. You'll jump ship. It's like, oh, that's all we got to do? Oh, then what do we need you for? You know, so they don't even want to teach you that, but they believe it themselves. That's why they do the corruption that they do, because we're all sinners. We all fall short of the glory of God. And yeah, so when I rape you for your money and for your minds and for your labor, I'm sinful. And Jesus died for my sins, so that's that. You know, so oh, wake up, people, wake up, wake up, wake up. I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to me as I end all of my posts. All I ask you to do is put it in the comments. Y'all know what I'm about to say, right? Put it in the comments. Love.